you, ladies. No. Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting. The meeting will start in 30 seconds.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Sioux Falls City Council meeting. Today is Monday, July 11th, and we're certainly pleased to have all of you here tonight. To start tonight's meeting, let's identify which City Council members are here. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erpenbach?
Here.
Jamison?
Here.
Karski?
Here.
Rolfing?
Here.
Aguilar?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
Brown?
Here.
Entman?
Here.
Thank you, City Councilors, for being here tonight. We appreciate it. We would like to start tonight's meeting with an invocation. We're very blessed to have Deacon John Devlin of the St. Catherine Drexel Church here in Sioux Falls. What we'd like to do is have the deacon bless us with his presence, and then we'll follow up with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could please stand, please.
Let's just take 1 or 2 minutes to bring ourselves into God's holy and abiding presence. From the Book of Wisdom. Now with you is wisdom, who knows your works and was present when you made the world, who understands what is pleasing in your eyes and what is conformable with your commands. Send her forth from your holy heaven and from your glorious throne dispatch her, that she may be with us and work with us, that we may know what is your pleasure. For she knows and understands all things and will guide us discreetly in our affairs and safeguard us by her glory. Gracious and loving God, we beg your blessings upon this council this evening. Please give them an extra measure of your spirit of wisdom, that they might make decisions that truly reflect your divine will for our city. Give them the virtues of faith, hope, and love. Grant them prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude as they conduct their affairs this evening. May all their decisions reflect the common good of you and of the people of Sioux Falls. We ask this in the name of God Almighty, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good seeing you. Thank you so much. Again, thanks to Deacon John Devlin for the blessing. We'll start with the consent agenda tonight. Councilors, any changes or motions on the consent agenda?
Move approval, Aguilar.
Second. Brown.
Councilor Aguilar has made a motion to approve the consent agenda, seconded by Councilor Brown. Any discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Council members Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Thank you. Moving on with the regular agenda. Councilors, any changes to tonight's regular agenda?
Move to approve, Anderson.
Second, Erpenbach.
Councilor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve tonight's agenda, seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. Any comments? Very good. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Again, welcome to tonight's meeting. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the City Council? We'd ask you to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less and just introduce yourself, please. Very good. We'll move on then with item number 7.
Item number 7 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by amending Chapter 2, Article 2 of City Council Organization and Procedure.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Deborah Owens, City Clerk, Chief of Council Operations. Tonight before you is an ordinance that has come through Public Services Committee with their recommendation of a due pass. And just to give you an overall to the updates in this ordinance, a lot of it has been sort of a housekeeping, bringing the laws up to date with the customs of the council now. It includes including the electronic means of notice for notification of council of special council meetings, including changing the term briefing to informationals, which we now hold, and add working sessions of the council language, including other updates to our city council committee agendas and the time that those are scheduled. Again, updating the deadlines and the procedures of our agenda management and ensuring that open meeting laws are followed for items that are added under new business after the deadline. It also has some changes to some rules, which include the entering into debate provision, which either the mayor or the acting mayor would be allowed to enter into debate if presiding at a city council meeting. They could do that by simply handing their gavel over to the next person in line to preside, and then they could enter into debate, but they wouldn't have that right just straight out. In addition, there would be some changes in terms of not allowing or changing the provision in the ordinance that allows no vote to be recorded as an affirmative vote. That was struck now that council will simply vote, and your silence will not mean that it's a yes vote. It will just simply wait for your vote to occur. And lastly, the ordinance will continue to be reviewed by the city attorney as to form and legality, but the language would no longer require all of the ordinances to be drafted or prepared by the city attorney's office. They simply would always have the final say in before it is calendared to a council meeting. Thank you. Any questions?
This is a second reading. So is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? Very good, Council.
Move to approve, Anderson.
Second Aguilar.
There's been a motion to approve by Councilor Anderson Jr., seconded by Councilor Aguilar.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councilor Brown.
I'd like to move to amend the main motion by striking out the following words in Section 2-33H. The words "or pass" at the end of the third sentence and the entire last sentence, which reads, quote, "A city council member who responds pass shall be given an opportunity at the end of the roll call to change his or her vote to yes or no."
Second, Karski.
Councilor Brown, was that Section 2-23?
Yes.
Very good. There was a motion made by Councilor Brown to make an amendment. It was seconded by Councilor Karski. Is there any discussion on that item?
I'll just address it briefly.
Councilor
if I
Brown,
may.
please.
Two reasons why I don't think this is necessary to have a pass. I think by the time we get to this table, we should have a pretty good idea of where we're at on the issue, and using the pass can sometimes result in gamesmanship. I would prefer we just take our vote. Second reason is, with technology, at some point in the near future, we will likely have a voting machine, which we did years ago when I first started on the council, and that pass opportunity won't be there then either. The time would open up, you press yes or no, and be done. So I just think that to make this cleaner now, I would prefer that we get rid of the pass option. Thank you.
Hearing no further discussion, there has been a motion to amend this motion. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. We now have an amended motion. Is there any further discussion? Very good. Could we have a roll call vote, please? On the motion.
On the main motion as
On the main
amended.
motion.
Yep.
Yes. Councilor Fife. or City Attorney Feifley.
Sorry, Mayor. I just would like to reiterate some concerns regarding Section 2-23, subparts A and B, briefly. The proposed revisions would delete that any proposed ordinances or resolutions would be reviewed by the mayor or an authorized representative where there are substantive matters of administration involved. And I would urge an amendment to this section, either restoring that language or somehow requiring that where there are matters involving substantive matters of administration, that they first be reviewed by the department head that would be affected by the ordinance or resolution. I believe that this would allow for some much better legislation to come from the body and would eliminate any surprise items that would appear on the agenda.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Entman?
could I have Attorney Feifley please repeat that, please?
I hope not verbatim, Councilor Enneman.
Maybe just in layman's terms.
Well, the way it is now is written, Councilor Entenman, is under Section B, there's matters of administration involved. It is first reviewed by the mayor or his designee. I would urge that we either restore that language rather than deleting it with this proposal, or at least make it where there's any substantive matters of administration that a department head who's affected by that resolution or ordinance be allowed to review it before it goes on to the agenda. This would not in any way impair two councilors' right or the mayor's right to put something on the agenda, but I think it would just allow for that better dialogue and consideration of items before they are placed on the agenda.
Is there, as a department head, what do you do today? Or how does that work today? Mark, would you mind
Point of order,
at least
Mr. Mayor.
explaining?
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. We have a motion on the table, so we need to keep the conversation at this table, correct?
I think unless we ask for some input, would that not be correct?
Well, that's what I was trying to, with Councilor Enneman being some, I don't know if you were confused, Councilor, or just wanted some
I just wanted to
clarification.
understand.
That's what I was trying to do with Councilor, or with
Right, I
Mr.
understand.
Cotter, just trying to give a flavor for,
Please,
to maybe help educate the council.
It needs to come from the council.
That's fine. Mr. Mayor, if I might ask Mr. Cotter to please
Sure.
address this, please.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I can at least speak to it. As I read what's been struck is, today the language is, and has been reviewed by the mayor and authorized representative where there's substantive matters of the administration involved. I think my takeaway is that we're likely the closest to our customers, and if policy goes before them that somewhat doesn't have our input before it actually gets put on the agenda, I think it would just, in the spirit of working together, allow for a better dialogue as opposed to just legislation being drafted and putting on the agenda. The way it's wrote today, we actually do have some dialogue, and if that portion that's been deleted gets restored, just in the spirit of working together, and again, in many cases, either departments or our staff work the closest with those customers, we can weigh in of what it may or may not affect them.
Thank you, Mark. Councilor Brown.
Actually, a question for the city attorney, if I may. May I, Mayor?
Oh, no, Councilor Brown, you have the floor.
I believe you sat in the Public Services Committee's, Attorney Feifley. Why was this not raised until this evening?
It was raised at those committee meetings.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
David, what happened in the meetings, or what was the dialogue?
The dialogue was expressing those similar concerns, Mayor, and they indicated at the committee level they would consider an amendment. So
Okay.
I'm just reiterating that request again tonight to the full council.
All right. Thank you. Councilor Erdenbach.
And I would just add then that Attorney Feifley and I have had this conversation this week. We've gone kind of back and forth, and I did ask the committee to consider an amendment and didn't see a lot of support for it. But given that other folks are here on the council now this evening, I would like to make an amendment. And I apologize, I left my laptop in another location, and so this is in, remind me the location. This is in section 223, subsection B. The second sentence, second sentence, all proposed ordinances and resolutions. Hold on now, I apologize. The wording is, read the wording for me, David, that we worked with. Shall, involving, I apologize, I did actually leave all of my stuff at my desk at home, at work.
Please. David, Councilor Urbanbach is just looking for some support.
Because I did ask the attorney to help me write that amendment and then didn't get support for it previously, and so if we could just do that wording.
Thank you.
As my amendment, if you wouldn't mind.
Second sentence of section 2-23, subpart B, where it states all proposed ordinances and resolutions. The amendment, the proposal as currently changed is of the administration. That would amend that to say now all proposed ordinances and resolutions involving substantive matters of administration shall also be reviewed by the head of the department under whose jurisdiction the administration of the subject matter of the ordinance, resolution, or other document would devolve. So it would only change, for clarification, the added language that's in the current proposal of the administration to involving substantive matters of the administration.
If I could get a second, I would address that then.
Second, Entenmann.
Then I would just, the debate that I've had back and forth with members of the committee with our Chief of Council Operations has been that there are pieces of this ordinance that do require that, the city attorney has to look at it for legality. Nothing gets to the council agenda without 2 signatures from council members, so that there are these checks and balances, but this would just add that feeling of staying away from surprising department heads. And that really is where this is coming from. It's really just one added little thing. It's a different wording for the way the existing ordinance is written, but it is just one of those things that, as I said to Deborah earlier, it has just bugged me, and then the attorney and I talked about it, and it's just one of those things that we appreciate not being surprised. As in, certain things that happen on the agenda. Sometimes we don't know what they are until we get here, and tonight we have to vote on this, and we don't know anything about it. I think that this is one of those times when we say back to the administration, you know what, we're not going to surprise you either. And so I would ask for your support on the amendment.
Councilor Urbanbach, thank you. Councilor Aguilar.
Could you read the amendment again, please?
The second sentence of section 2-23, subpart B, would state all proposed ordinances and resolutions involving substantive matters of administration shall also be reviewed by the head of the department under whose jurisdiction the administration of the subject matter of the ordinance, resolution, or other document would devolve.
Thank you.
Councilor Karski.
Okay, now I'm trying to understand. That sentence is already in the ordinance, correct?
But it was going to
And the part that we're deleting is the sentence before that, the portion of the sentence before that, I guess. Are we looking to bring that other portion back in?
David, can you explain?
Councilor Karski, you are correct. In the first sentence, the last clause is being deleted under the current proposal is and been reviewed by the mayor or an authorized representative where there are substantive matters of administration involved. So the current proposal is deleting that. So all this is doing is creating a mechanism where a department head whose department would be affected by the proposal would be at least involved in giving input to either the mayor or to the 2 councilors who are wanting to put it on the agenda. Again, it would not impair in any way 2 councilors' ability to place an item on the agenda. It would just, probably for simplicity, it would just be maybe another check mark on the agenda approval form so that at least the affected department would have an ability to gain their input into the process.
Councilor Anderson Jr.
At this point in time with the process, I guess this will be a question to the city attorney. With the process that we have in place, with the ability to send it to committee and everything, I guess I don't understand really the need for this, and that the administration is going to be aware of any type of policy change that the council is going to bring up.
David?
Councilor Anderson Jr., I believe that the current process has the ability to send an item to committee, but it's not mandatory. And also, there could be an item where there's a resolution which only has one reading, and you could have that surprise element. So I believe this is just a small additional step to take to just keep that dialogue going, and certainly have that dialogue, especially when two councilors are trying to place something on the agenda, would allow that dialogue to take place with the administrative head whose department is being affected by that.
And City Attorney Pfeiffer, just as a point of clarification, the mayor doesn't have to approve this. You're just asking for input from the department head.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? There is an amendment on the amended motion made by Councilor Urbanbach, seconded by Councilor Entenmann. Thank you. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Council members Urbanbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Is there any further discussion on the amended motion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Urbanbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 8.
Item 8 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by revising the due process requirements found in Article 6, Administrative Appeals of Chapter 2.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Thank you, Mayor. Dave Pfeiffer, City Attorney. Sorry you get me again. This is, again, the second reading involving the administrative appeals ordinances. We appreciate certainly the councilors' input who've weighed in on this and your assistance in drafting the item. I don't have any additional items since the first reading other than to report that the Public Services Committee did have discussions today regarding some decisions that went against the city by an independent hearing examiner. So I think that's proof positive that the process is working and that an independent look is being had through this process, and we would, again, urge your passage of this change.
Again, thank you, David. This is a second reading. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? Council, any comments or motions?
Move approval, Urbanbach.
Second Aguilar.
Councilor Urbanbach's made a motion to approve item number 8, seconded by Councilor Aguilar. Is there any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Council members Urbanbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann.
That's passed 8-0. Item number 9.
Item number 9 is a resolution advising and giving consent to the appointment of members to certain citizen boards.
Would you mind reading those to the people of Sioux Falls and the City Council?
Yes, sir. Parks and Recreation Board, Michael Crane. Solid Waste Planning Board, Jake Anderson, Norman Dittman, Ken Allender, Dennis Wheeldryer.
Council, would anybody like to make a motion to approve?
So moved, Rolfing.
Second, Entenmann.
Councilor Rolfing's made that motion, seconded by Councilor Entenmann. Any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Council members Urbanbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 10.
Item 10 is a resolution advising and giving consent to the appointment of Mary Johns effective August 15th, 2011.
Mr. O'Toole?
Mayor and Council, Bill O'Toole from Human Resources. It's my pleasure to address this item. As this council knows, Many times we have the candidate present today, but Ms. Johns is from Evanston, Illinois, and is in fact attending a city council meeting back in Evanston as we speak. And for the benefit of the viewing public at home, we did have her on a conference call at 4 p.m. today at the informational meeting and did have an opportunity to converse with her, and I think many councilors had an opportunity to talk to her as well when she was on site. She did come highly recommended through a search process as well as the library board. But real quickly, again, she is the current library director in Evanston, Illinois. She has a Master of Library Science degree from the University of Arizona and has comprehensive library administration experience in public library systems. And we encourage and urge your support for this appointment. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Mr. O'Toole, would you mind just explaining to the public the different parties that are involved in terms of this particular hire?
Yeah, this was certainly a unique situation. There's a joint powers agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Minnehaha County as it relates to the Siouxland library system and how it operates. And the search committee that was appointed to help find the next replacement included members of the Minnehaha County Commission, outside individuals in the public as well, the HR director from the county, as well as some library board members as well. So when the recommendation came from the search committee to the library board, that was kind of a unanimous recommendation along the way. And that joint powers agreement does specify some of the specifics as it relates to that and the library board's recommendation in that process. They do have a role to play in that process.
Thank you, Bill. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item before the council moves? City Council, any comments? Yes, Councilor Aguilar.
Move approval, Aguilar.
Second, Anderson.
Been a motion by Councilor Aguilar, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. to approve Mary Johns as the new head of Siouxland Libraries. Any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Council members Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Thank you. Normally we would have a round of applause right now. Mary, congratulations to you in Evanston, Illinois, and we're excited to have you here in Sioux Falls. Item number 11.
Item 11 is a resolution authorizing submission of an industrial park grant for construction of North Bonson Avenue.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Brent O'Neill with the Community Development Department. This project is related to a road project that we want to start in Sioux Empire Development Park number 8, which is in the northeast part of Sioux Falls. And I hope it's fresh in your minds, the description Darren gave earlier. But we do have a visual this time around. If you look at the very far left upper corner, that's the Sanford Research Complex now, so if that gives you a little bit of perspective on where this park is. And then all those parcels in blue are potential developable industrial lots. Bonson Road on the next slide is highlighted in yellow. It is not constructed yet, but if at such time it is constructed, it will be the primary major collector through the park and provide the major access to, as you can tell in that drawing, the majority of the parcels in the park. The item before you is related to a grant application that we are working on internally that would provide up to $250,000 towards the total construction costs of the road, which are estimated to be between $2 million and $2.5 million. There are other options we're looking at too to cover the remainder of that cost. I did want to point out that CCOG, Sioux Southeast Council of Governments, is working on our behalf in preparation of the grant, and that the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, Governor's Office of Economic Development, the property owners, and other city departments have also been pretty active in this project. And then I just wanted to reiterate that this resolution is a requirement of the grant submission, and it more or less is showing the City Council's support for the project.
Thanks, Brent. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? Any questions of Brent or any motions, Council?
Move to approve.
Second, Entman.
Councilor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve, seconded by Councilor Entman. Any further discussion? Yes, Councilor Anderson Jr.
I think this is going to be a great addition to a very fast-growing segment of our community. The industrial park has a lot of companies who were looking for space that have moved up there. I've attended a couple dirt moving operations up there, and I think this is a great addition to this industrial park.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Thank you, City Council. That is passed 8-0. Is there any further discussion?
Move to adjourn. Erpenbach?
Second, Karski.
Been a motion to adjourn by Counselor Erpenbach, seconded by Counselor Karski. All those in favor, just signify by saying aye when you hear your name. Sorry.
Councilmember Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Great job, City Council. That is passed 8-0. Sioux Falls, this meeting is adjourned. Make it a great night.